As able for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, everyone, please be seated. Jenna, can we have roll call, please?
Trustee South.
Here.
Trustee Rhodey.
Here.
Trustee Pater. Here. Trustee Grabowski.
Here.
President Knutson.
Here.
And Trustee Belt and Trustee Kreiser are excused.
Okay. Item 2 is public hearings. We have none. Item 3 is approval of the March 3rd, 2026 regular village board meeting. I hope everybody's had a chance to look them over. Are there any questions, comments, or corrections as to the way they are presented this evening? If not, do I have a motion to approve as presented?
Motion to approve minutes as presented. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Minutes are adopted. Citizen comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to share their opinions with board members on any topic they choose. However, due to Wisconsin open meeting laws, the board is not able to answer questions or respond to your comments. All comments should be directed to the board. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker, with time being indicated by an audible alarm. When the alarm sounds, speakers are asked to conclude their comments. Speakers are asked to please use the podium and state their name and address. For the record, is there anybody here that would like to make a comment? No? Okay, then we're going to move on. Number 5 is ordinance. Review, discussion, and possible action on ordinance 2026-03, an ordinance to amend section 58.130D of the municipal code of the Village of Pewaukee regarding dogs in parks. I hope everyone's had a chance to go through it, look them over. Are there any questions, comments as to what was presented to the board? If not, I will look for a motion if nobody has it. Oh,
yeah,
I'm
just-
sorry, Jim, I didn't see that.
Because I was reading, and the way it starts, it basically is that dogs are still not prohibited, but then it goes on to clarify that they are, as long as they're on leash and not in certain areas, correct? Because they're not prohibited at the beach or lakefront park, correct?
Currently, they are prohibited at all parks.
All parks?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is a change allowing them at all parks, with the exception of the specified areas. So, so we have listed that they are not permitted in the following areas of the lakefront park beach. So specifically the beach, not the grass area. That was a change recommendation by the Parks and Recreation Board. Upon any playground area, ball diamond, soccer field, or within any park buildings or restrooms or other areas determined by the Parks and Recreation Department. So specific language there allows them to be in different areas with their owner, and this was drafted essentially with the idea of companionship as well as on-leash exercise. We don't have a lot of pathways necessarily, sidewalks even at parks. So we kind of strayed towards the companionship side of how we wrote this. And then we included other areas determined by the Parks and Recreation Department, giving us flexibility that if we see this change suddenly warrants an issue with something else, the ability for us to add those areas in. So we didn't necessarily include tennis courts. Let's say that becomes an issue, we could then add it. Then there's also a little bit, so we talk about dog feces being removed immediately and disposed of in a sanitary manner. And then Pewaukee Parks and Recreation may designate additional spaces available to dogs for programs or events and potential future dog parks that may contain identified off-leash areas. So the goal with the ordinance is only to come before you all once, right? Not that we're back here for a special event or program that utilizes the parks every time we consider that. Also, we're working on the potential, so not a guarantee, but the potential for some sort of dog park, whether that's one location specifically identified or what we're mostly pursuing is a mobile dog park, which would come with removable fencing that could be relocated between different parks, not all the time, but maybe 2 to 3 parks per dog season, so say spring through fall. So what we're trying to do is all-encompassing ordinance, a little bit of flexibility for our staff, but not have to come before you all every time we consider.
Any other questions? I just thought of one. I have a problem with not the grassy area. I've noticed that over time, people like to have their dogs on the grassy area, the lakefront. And sometimes the feces is not totally picked up. And we have lakefront music down there. People put their blankets down, some don't. We have kids playing down there on the grass. Dogs are peeing there. I'm not thrilled with that. I think this should also include the grassy area and the beach.
That was the initial staff recommendation. Beyond what
wrong.
you said, we cited congestion during
Yeah.
events such as Waterfront Wednesday or a ski show.
Yeah,
And the board made their decision and this is their recommendation. That was the Parks and Recreation. But you all are welcome to make the decision that you would prefer. My goal is to have the same ordinance for the city and the village, because obviously we oversee 15 parks across the 2 municipalities. Now, this one specific identification will only impact the village because we don't have a beach at any other parks. That is certainly a village board decision, but outside of that, the goal is to have essentially the same ordinance for both municipalities. We were trying to go to the Common Council last night, but the meeting was canceled due to the weather.
well, I was just looking at it, and all you would have to do is insert the word "and."
Yeah, it's
Walking
not a
back.
difficulty of change, it's a matter of decision.
Nat, can we do that?
You can. I don't think it has to go back to Parks and Rec. It's just a recommendation. There's no re-referral. You can do that here.
I would like the word "and" put between Lakefront Park and beach. Just because.
That was how it was originally drafted. Now, for your all consideration,
Yeah,
Trustee Kreiser was one of the Park and Rec Board members that was more vocal about it. So up to you all if you think there's additional conversation warranted with her present or not. But just so you're aware.
right. I'm just, my concern is what I just stated.
Mhm.
Yes, Bob?
Yeah, again, I have no problem with the way it is written now. Keeping in mind that this ordinance is put together really to give the police something to enforce if there is an issue. Not like we're gonna have poop police going around and leash police going around, making sure that this is taking place. It's really to take care of the exception. So I'm fine with this wording.
Well, the thing, Bob, the thing is that I'm not looking for the police department running around doing the poop police, but as long as it's in there that says that they can't be on there, just a matter of, you know, if the squad walks by or drives by and they see somebody with a dog on that park, they can say, "I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have your dog there." Not that I'm gonna have a cop down there 24/7. But I think it also, for the residents' sake, and especially the kids, I think this is something that needs to be done. I mean, if you look at where you've put it elsewhere, children playground, that kind of stuff, same thing.
Specifically, those areas were probably hard surface or where, you know, a dog's teeth, claws, nails, I guess, not claws. More so the thought process there, but yeah, there are children present. We can't always predict where the kids will be. My stronger recommendation was just the congestion during a Waterfront Wednesday. You know, staff will do their best to enforce some of this, but you know, if they don't listen to us, what can we do? You know, take a specific list down and tell the police. We can't write them a ticket, right?
No.
But we can ask them, you know, hey, dogs aren't allowed at this park. You know, could you please
But then
remove
they'll
them
come
or
back and
whatever.
say, "No, it
We
doesn't
also
say
did
that."
include a leash policy so that we can say, please keep your dog on a leash, and the leash policy states 6 feet or less. The handler needs to be able to control the animal. So those are some of the focus points that we tried to.
Yes, I'm sorry.
With respect, I completely understand where you're coming from, and that does make sense. Where I differ on it is the fact that nothing against Park and Rec or our village police to this point, but we've always never allowed dogs in the park.
Right.
There has never been a shortage of dogs currently in the park, be it Waterfront Wednesdays, the ski shows, any other event down there at Lakefront Park or at Village Park, letting people with herding dogs run the ball field or anything like that, just get some energy out. Like, I don't, again, I respectfully agree that, we would like to control feces and everything on the grass. I don't think by passing this, it's going to then all of a sudden create this wave of new dogs that come to the village and go down to the park. I see it being pretty much status quo. If you've already gone down to the park with your dog, there's a good chance you're still going to go down to the park with your dog. If you never went down to the park with your dog, probably not going to, unless we put in a dog park. It's kind of like the cruising ordinance. Like, people are like, "Whoa, you put the cruising ordinances, now we're just going to go and run up and down the street." It's like, it didn't happen. It didn't create that, kind of drama that needed. So I hear you, and I'm not fully disagreeing with you. I just don't think we need to implement it just because I know I like walking the dog down during the ski show and grabbing a beer and watching the ski show for 15, 20 minutes and continuing on my walk. Like, I don't want to discourage people from coming down there, but then again, we've had this on the books already and it hasn't discouraged people. No offense. Because like you said, you're not there to police or enforce or what have you.
Sure.
I don't think it's going to create personally, my opinion is I don't think it's going to create a larger issue than anything that may have already existed there. And to my knowledge, I don't think it was an issue. So on top of it, I do typically, especially with Park and Rec Board and knowing the people that are on it and how passionate they are about the parks and how much they care through and through and are very, very thorough in what they approve. I also don't find it in my best interest to go against their judgment and their decision. If it's egregious, yeah, absolutely. But they've obviously vetted this. They've had the discussion. They altered the original, which means they fully discussed it. So I'm going to defer towards the Park and Rec for them to have control over their parks and recreation. So again, just my opinion.
Someone like to make any further discussion? Motion?
If there's no other discussion, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-03 to amend section 58.130D of the municipal code regarding dogs in parks.
Second, Roy.
Here we have a motion and a second. Further discussion?
What is the penalty?
Right now, currently,
Yeah.
that would be a municipal question.
It's been a while since I had a violation of park rules
I was-
ticket. I think the fine is something like either $76 or $98.
Okay.
Which just goes to show how often those are written. Not exactly a revenue stream for us at this point.
Not a budget.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed. So it passes 4-1. Resolution, none. Old business, none. Review, discussion, and possible action regarding commercial and residential renewal lease with existing tenants at Lehman Family Lakeside Park. For the new members that are not really that new, they've been renting this for how many years now? Probably 10?
Yeah, 10 years.
And they've been extremely good tenants. And so, are there any, we did get a new update on the residential agreement tonight. So there's actually a residential, which is the upper part, and then the lower part is the commercial part. And they're two separate, and the prices for each year with a 3% increase is written there. Does anybody have any questions or comments as it pertains to this lease, Bob?
Just a comment. Again, the partnership between Beachside Boat Bay and Park and Rec, Village of Pewaukee has been excellent. The partnership has resulted in a layman fund that has helped fund a lot of different areas, and I wholeheartedly agree in extending this agreement with Ken and Beachside Boat Bay.
Yeah, I definitely second Bob's comments there and appreciate the work and the workers and everything they have there. My one question is on your Exhibit B, because I have had residents in the past question this. Ken, I guess this is probably more of a question for you. Are those the only slips that you're requesting in this lease?
I use other stuff that I paid for.
Okay, because I was,
They have been there over the years.
okay, so these are just the ones that are included in the lease then?
The initial lease 10 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah, so Exhibit B, what you're referring to, that's attached to the original lease from 26.
okay. So, because this doesn't have the boat launch dock in currently. This would be the outer dock. So, like I said, it's just a question residents have brought up to me.
So that image with Exhibit B is the gas pier.
That's the gas dock, yes.
Yeah, so the closest to a square, it's probably a rectangle, near the shoreline there, I think that's where we have the kayak launch now.
Well, no, that used to be all right.
That was the runabout one.
Those are all the fishing boats.
this is probably predates
Well,
my
and
time here
that's,
in 2019.
so like I said, neighbors in the area, not particularly me, I don't have an issue with it because I could park like 37 cars in my driveway, but neighbors have voiced concerns over the number of rental boats. And so it's a simple question of, because I know on the launch dock, there's the fishing boat lifts. Are those getting transferred over to where that rectangle is now? Because that's, says allowed for fishing.
Those ones were originally where the boats were pulled in.
Okay,
So now we're using lifts and those are in the middle.
okay,
So that used to all be fishing boats that you pull up.
right.
And it's safer to use lifts and move them to the front.
So the red square is actually nothing now.
No, that's where.
I know that's where Lowy pulled the runabouts up and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just clarifying because
Yeah.
there's
I don't-
spaces missing.
I don't
on here.
think we've had, in 7 years, I don't think we've had a change to the actual slips. And then that longer thin rectangle is stacked pontoon boats
Yep.
that we've discussed specifically how that should be. And I think for 3 years now, it's been very consistent.
That's why I was wondering, is this a change from what it was? Because,
Honestly, I don't think I've ever even seen this. I think this was part of the original document, and I don't know that we've even included the amendment to that. But there are slips that are included in the lease, and then there are separate ones that were added after the lease that they've had for over 7 years. It was before I was here.
right, which I was aware of. That's
That-
why when I
that's-
saw this, I was like, this is different than what's been the past 7 years.
That's why I wanted to clarify, that Exhibit B goes with the 2016 lease, which has been amended, this is gonna be the third one. So that is probably,
Fair enough. Just asking for a point of clarification. I was like, are you actually reducing the number of boats you're going to carry? So that would have surprised me. Okay.
I think I got a question.
Yes.
So how many boat slips are with the entire lease?
Well, that,
I read 4, plus
Yeah.
the mooring area there.
yeah, and that area can house, what do you got? 8 stacked pontoons, 4x2.
Okay.
And then I think it's 3 other 2 other slips plus the fishing. There are 3 fishing boats. So it's 5 boats, 3 fishing boats, 2 slips, pontoon.
So, on that pier,
No.
right now.
Oh.
Now I'm confused. I thought it was just the red was the
Yeah,
slips he's.
Because
getting.
that's slip 8 and you guys don't have that. Oh.
Yes.
No longer exists. No longer.
That doesn't exist.
8 pontoons, 2, 4, 6, 8.
Yeah,
This is slip 8 that we rent out.
right.
That is not to them.
That's not to them.
3 fishing boats on lifts that are not connected to any pier.
Okay,
And then slip 23
Which is the end of the launch dock.
and 28.
but those 3 piers there are rented out.
Those are rented out.
This,
Those are rented
yeah,
out.
it's not really 3. I think it's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Okay,
Sorry for the confusion. I was
Yeah.
just,
Oh,
I was
no, I
confused
was-
in
But,
seeing this. I was like,
yeah,
we're
and that
reducing
was
the
with,
number?
like Attorney Gerlinski said, that was original, hasn't been in existence since pre-2019.
I'd like to get it updated.
Sure.
You know, it'd be fine to go through this and just get it done now, approved, but then I'd like to
With
see
an
it
exhibit
updated.
E to be attached or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I scrolled to D, but
Make it attached to see.
I think that's fair. If it hasn't been updated in the past,
Yeah,
be a good exercise to do that now.
And I'm sorry for the confusion.
No,
Like I said,
that's
neighbors have just asked, and so as a point of
So we
clarification,
can do
it's
both.
on record now.
okay, are there any other questions or comments?
I got 2 more, sorry.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere in the lease that's, I'm assuming you use all those slips for your boats, correct? Okay. I just know it's a very, very hot commodity to rent out and also acquire a slip. I don't know if it's any benefit to put that into the lease, that any slip that they own must be used and occupied by their boats and not to be resold. Just a thought.
like sublet.
Yeah, do you have anything on
You
sublet?
would never do that? Yeah, but, okay. Okay.
And I don't know if that was or
Yeah.
was not in there, but like that is something we have, that Attorney Blum had put in our slip rental lease agreements with non-beachside
Right.
users. So any other slip renter we have, they cannot sublet.
They can't, okay,
Correct.
yeah.
Start Airbnb and slips.
Well, I was looking at the rate and I'm like, I would take the lease over right now and just rent out the 4 slips. And I was like, we'd make some money. I'm like, that's because those things are hot to get. My other question is square footage of the commercial space and the residential space. I don't see it listed anywhere. Does that have to be in there or should it be in there?
Does not have.
I don't think it has to.
It does not have to be in
Just the
there.
address?
Just the address. It's pretty well demarcated what's commercial, what's residential.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the commercial and residential lease renewal for the existing tenants of Lehman Family Lakeside Park.
Second, Rhodey.
Yes.
That is a huge follow X that is not part of this agenda item that we can't discuss it right now. That's involving 2 other parcels of property that, yeah.
You have a motion and a second, correct?
We do. Did you say commercial and residential?
I
lease?
did.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Thank you again. You do a great job down there. Review, discussion, and possible action regarding proposed 2026 Pewaukee Lake Water Ski Club schedule. It's pretty much the same as it was last year. There may be a few changes, but I hope everybody's had a chance to look them over. Are there any questions, comments, or corrections that you might have about it? If not, would someone like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 2026 Pewaukee Lake Water Ski Club schedule.
Second, Grabowski.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you all.
May I ask Nick a quick question about the ski club stuff, just real
Sure.
quick? Has there already been any discussion about putting like bleachers in there or any additional seating?
There's not.
'Cause I've got a property up north and they have a popular ski club, and then they have bleacher seating and they pack the place. So when I go down, I'm like, "Ah, it's so busy, you know, hard.
Yeah, I would, and I've been to way less ski shows than say Trustee Grabowski. The thing I would say is while that might enhance the ski show one night a week, I don't think it would be necessary 6 nights a week. And it would probably be in my estimation, a detractor from the rest of the park that's already relatively limited in space.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree. It does,
Kind of
especially-
feels like just right.
especially since COVID, it's gotten incredibly popular again. You know, because people rediscovered it, like, oh, it's something to do, you know, middle of the week.
You got
know,
the
to
beer
get out
truck
with the
down
family.
there. Yeah, it's
you
a
know?
good time.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, and I agree with you. Previous attempts of building little risers or whatever to give people better viewing have posed tripping hazards and such in the past, and it was basically determined by the board to just make it a park and keep it open. Don't get me wrong, I would love to get more people down there
Right.
to see it, because it is entertaining and it's free and it's outside and it's what drives people down to our lakefront, but yeah.
Okay. Review, discussion, and possible action to purchase a Ford F-350 one-ton dump truck with all the attachments applied for $90,740. I hope everybody's gone through the purchase. I believe it's under budget, if I remember correctly. Are there any questions or comments as it relates to that particular item?
What other trucks are Ford? Because I know the current dump truck's a Chevy. Okay. Okay. And those are you want to phase them out? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I question Ram and Chrysler and all that as reliability, so I would prefer to stay away from that if that's your runner-up recommendation. I had a Jeep, and it's the same.
Excuse me, you're talking to an odd man.
I know.
I beg to differ.
I know you haven't been driving it much, though. So, yeah, if that's your runner-up option, then I would say stick with the Ford.
Okay, do I have, since that was the only question, or does somebody like to make an motion?
Make a motion to approve purchase of the Ford F-350 one-ton dump truck.
Second, Peter.
Okay, have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Review, discussion, and possible action to purchase a Ford F-350 utility truck for $87,289. Again, I believe that one was under budget. I hope everybody's looked it over. Again, keeping a Ford in the Ford family that we have now. Are there any questions or comments as it relates to that?
One, because I know, sorry for,
Go right ahead.
pictures have it in the white. You did have red highlighted. I know our other trucks are red. Are you getting it in red? Okay. Okay, I was just making sure because I was like, we best suited to keep everything uniform. Okay,
Except the utility truck will be white.
what's that?
Utility will be white, right?
Oh, utility will be white. Oh, okay, the box one.
Okay, are there any further questions? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the purchase of the F-350 utility truck.
Do we have a motion and a second discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby granted. Review, discussion, and possible action on proposed work agreement from municipal well and pump to rehab, Review, discussion, and possible action to approve change order number 2 of the 2025 street utility project from Payne and Dolan for $9,835. I hope everybody's looked those over and have a lot of questions as it relates to that particular project. Anybody?
Is this the end of it for them? Okay.
I guess my question is, would they do, just sit around down there waiting for somebody to do something, and that's why they charge just by the hour and all this other stuff? It looks kind of ridiculous.
Sure seems like that.
It does. Mm-hmm. The only one that I see that was questionable was the water shut off. That seemed to be, okay, maybe we should have waited, it shouldn't have been that long to shut the water off, but all the other ones don't really seem that the village had a problem.
I guess like on the redesign stuff, like water main location, who dropped it on that? Was that us or was that R.A. Smith? Spider-Man one where everyone's like, okay.
What happens when the project started, the engineer calls in a digger's hotline request, and so then the village staff go out, or everybody marks their own utilities. This particular case, the village will go out and mark their water main locations. We might mark our water valves that we know of. They may or may not, and I don't know, have marked where they thought the water main was. I don't know that for sure. And also the engineer, we also send copies of our as-bills to the engineer, and then they take those and put them on their plan. And we don't know if we don't know how accurate the as-bills were, if they were accurate or not. We also don't know if they put them on their plan accurately. And so there's a lot of variables. It's hard to tell exactly what happened. There are things that we've learned, that I guess I've known, but I don't know if in the future we could do. We don't know exactly where the water main is. Before we start a project, we could go out and use the hydro excavator and go and locate the location prior to design. So another example where that happened was where we had the NPL who drilled through the water main between Pick and Save and Menards. So I've met with our staff. This is a separate topic, but
Don't get too far off.
I guess
we don't know exactly how the water.
You saying GIS mapping software would be great for our infrastructure, or?
We have GIS.
Don't have everything loaded.
It's not always that. The accuracy varies. And I can talk about each of the. Some of these end up being judgment calls right when we're standing there. I get called out. For example, the first one about we couldn't shut off the water valve. That's something that we don't really know that's going to happen until right when it happens. Guys we turn all of our valves every year, but we don't know if they actually turn the water off. So.
All right, are there any other questions or comments? Yes, sir.
When we do big projects like this, are you estimating a percentage of overage or change orders?
Yes, we do. When we put a cost estimate put together, we try to estimate probably 20% contingency.
What are we at on this one?
I think I personally have my cost estimate and the engineer has his. I mean, you gotta throw in 25, 30% easily on everyone, because one of the big ones where is undercutting of the road. We come back and right before we put the asphalt down, or before we put the gravel down to drive over it with a dump truck and make sure there's no deflection in the road, a lot of times you can end up with 30% additional area of poor base. That's really hard to predict.
Well, I'm just saying
Lots of
for-
things that could come
for
up.
when engineering contracts come up in the future, how close were they on this one? Were they within your 20%?
I think this was pretty close to what we initially had thought it was going to be. Yeah, I mean, overall, there's going to be change orders on projects. They happen all the time. I mean, some people have the attitude that change orders help improve the project because you can over design it and spend a lot more money too, and do all the little things, and then it costs more to design it. So either you pay more to design or you pay less to design and end up maybe with change order. So, but yes, we do put in a contingency.
No, I was just concerned because it's 5 months after the project.
Right. Well, it's because there's other issues. I mean, we had a lot of disagreements with the utility contractor. A lot of contractors, that's how they operate. If something's different, when they get out there, if, like, for example, change order number 4, there was a gas line that wasn't shown on the plans. So we're trying to figure out, did we enter, or did the marking company not mark the gas line? It was a 12-inch right down the middle of the road. That caused a huge issue. I mean, you gotta look at it in the contract. He's digging 10 feet down, putting in a big water main going down the middle of the road. And all of a sudden, we come up on a gas line that wasn't known about. So they have to dig with more care. It takes some more time. So we had to deflect the water main at that location. We're all standing there trying to figure out for an hour how to change the plan on the fly, because we have our live water main that's right there, and we have a proposed water main, and we have the existing gas line, and so we had to slow down, stop, and figure out a better plan. So
We'll blame diggers then.
what's that?
We'll blame diggers for this? No, that's fine.
I'm not sure why the gas line didn't get marked.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I was just with Jeff too on it, just 5 months later and it's a multiple ones. They've already come back with change orders, so that's why I was just wondering where we were at on this,
I think
closing it
what
out.
happened was the last change order, they wanted to group together all the things that we knew were going to be agreeable. Then they left the unagreeable items to work out with the contractor. Because there was a lot of money due to the general contractor, and they wanted to get him paid with known items. So they all have to take out loans to pay their staff. So.
Would someone like to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve change order number 2 of the 2025 street and utility project from Payne and Dolan, $9,835.
Second, Rudy. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thanks,
Motion
Dave.
is hereby adopted. Review, discussion, of possible action on proposed work agreement from municipal well and pump to rehab well number 5 for $220,557. Something that we need to do to keep that well online. As you know, we need the well. So is there anybody that has any questions, comments as it relates to that particular topic?
Is it replacing the well pump or rehabbing it?
So when they
'Cause-
pulled the pump out,
Yeah.
we really don't know much until they pull the pump out, inspect it, then they put a camera down. These are 1,000 feet deep wells. then they make an assessment of what to do. So I don't know for sure
Okay,
if
just
they're
because I
gonna
was
replace the pump or just rehab it.
gonna say, because they have budgeted $35,000 for motor and
This is the worst case
20,
scenario.
so that's what I was just guessing, or that's what I was asking. Is this a worst case if they have to replace it? Okay, because all the verbiage in it says about rehabbing, and I was like, that's a expensive rehab.
Any other questions?
Have they found anything cool with the camera at 1,000 feet deep? The gold or treasure?
Yeah.
That kid's been missing since 1912.
I want to watch it. It sounds kind of cool.
Well, they have to lower the bucket all the way down that far. It takes forever.
They did get something stuck at the bottom of the well number 2. Piece it in.
Oh, no. Sounds like a Jimmy Hoffa type thing.
Yeah. That's what-
This has no relevance to all of the other PFAS, updating the wells or anything like that, right? This is a completely separate project?
Right.
Okay, thanks.
This is PM, right?
So every well has to go through a maintenance project process about every 10.
And we have 11?
We try to do just one every year, every other year. Time.
Uh,
Any other questions?
Make a motion to approve the work agreement with Municipal Well and Pump for well number 5.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Review, discussion, and possible action on proposed bid for 2026 street and utility project on Glacier Road. I hope everyone's had a chance to look those over. Are there any questions, comments that you may have about that particular item?
I was happy to see who the winning bid was.
Hmm?
I was happy to see who the winning bid was.
Yeah,
So they were the only utility contractor bid on this project. So they were they bid as a general. And they bid as sub. We're happy to get as many bidders as we can.
Nice thing about going to bid early, finally on road projects. No, I'll make a motion to approve the proposed bid for DF Tomasini, 2026 street utility project in Glacier.
Second Rudy.
any discussion further? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Review, discussion, and possible action to approve a temporary Class B wine, Class B beer retailer's license for the VFW 2026 Memorial Day Car Show. This is done every year for the past many, many, many years. Are there any questions or comments as it relates to that particular item? If not, do I have a motion to approve?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the temporary Class B wine, Class B beer retailer's license for the VFW 2026 Memorial Day Car Show.
Second, Grabowski.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Review, discussion, and possible action to approve all checks and invoices from February 2026. Again, I hope everyone's had a chance to look them all over. If there's any questions or comments, otherwise I would look for a motion to approve all checks and invoices except for the library fund for February 2026.
Motion to approve the checks and invoices for February 2026.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? I will look to acknowledge all checks and invoices for the library February 2026.
Motion to acknowledge the library invoices from February 2026.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Again, we have no citizens, only in spirit. We're going to go to item 10, which is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye. We are hereby adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for tonight.
Go USA.
Yeah.
still have 15 minutes.
I know, I get to make it. This is awesome.